Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday, top of the morning to you. I hope you're ready to have the best day of your life because I'm damn sure, for sure, ready to have the best day of my life. I need today to be the best day of my life. I'm looking forward to today being the best day of my life. Today will be most definitely the best day that I ever have. And why am I saying that? Why must we start why should we start our morning believing that? Well, I say almost every show, if you don't believe that today is going to be the best day you ever had, well, you have no virtual chance of it actually happening. Top of the morning, if this is your first time tuning in, and it shouldn't be, my name is Keith Good News. I told myself I need to start introducing myself because there's people who tune into the show for the first time or whatnot, and they tell me, yo, it's my first time listening to the show. Thoroughly appreciate it. So if you don't know, by now, top of the morning, we're here every Monday and Wednesday, live from the Good News, every single Monday and Wednesday. And it was interesting because, the whole shutdown from Monday to now, where, obviously Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff was down. What an interesting time it was. I kind of enjoyed watching the show, honestly. I enjoyed watching people not know what to do on their phone. I enjoy people having to figure something else out. I enjoy people having to change what they're used to. And the reason why I enjoyed it because I love change so much. I love change so much that I go seek change. I go seek change. I go look for something to change. Now I know there's this old saying is don't find problems to solutions. And I will say I've been one who has done that before. Overanalyzing. But my overanalyzation comes from making sure that I'm not getting too comfortable with myself, that I'm still who I think I am. I spent a time yesterday early in the morning, I was on Nicolette's show, Evolving Nicolette on the Latinx side. I had a wonderful time. Check her show. I'll go back and listen if you haven't. And I also was on Never Not Extra last night, which I also enjoyed myself. It was a great time. Go back and listen. And I bring that up because something I said kind of in both shows was I'm always looking for an opportunity to change. I'm always looking for opportunity. So much so that when something happens or doesn't go my way, I say, that's interesting. Now I have to change what I thought. I have to change what I was thinking. I have to change the way I felt or the direction I was going. I must change. What an exciting situation when change is on the brink. How often do you feel yourself forcing change upon yourself? Hear what I'm saying? How often do you force yourself to change, or do you only change when your circumstances around you change and you must? When do you change by your own, how want I say this? When do you change based on your own decisions? When do you change based on your idea, based on your format? Most people change when things around change them. I'm gonna say it again, so it's a little clearer. Most people are forced to change. That's the only time that they do. See, change is inevitable. I'm gonna say this again. Change is inevitable. So you should make sure that you change on your accord. Change on your circumstances. You must decide to change before you're forced to. I'm gonna say it again. You must decide to change before you're forced to. You must decide what you want to eat before you're just given a meal. So what changes do you need to make for yourself is the big question of the day. What do you need to change today? What do you need to change automatically? What could be the one thing that you know? Because we all know what we should be doing. Let's keep it real. What do you already know currently right now? If you change a behavior, if you change maybe a decision, sometime changing, and here it goes. This may hit somebody. This may change somebody's day. Sometime changing is saying no to what you've been saying yes to this whole time. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes change is saying no to what you've been saying yes to this entire time. Sometimes change is saying yes to what you've been saying no to this entire time. Isn't that an interesting concept? So what kind of change do you need to make to change your life? Let me ask you a question. Do you want your life to continue to look how it is right now? Would you want the rest of your life to look how it is right now? If that answer is no, then the change must be made today. Hey, I know it's tough. I know it's scary. What about all the what ifs? What if this doesn't happen? What if I don't make the money? What if? Something that Nicolette said to me yesterday, which was so impactful. She said, yeah, my overhead is a lot to do this, but it cost me more not to do it. I'm gonna emphasize that real quick. I don't think y'all get me. My mentor once told me years ago, he said, Keith, if you can't afford to do it, then you can't afford not to do it. If you can't afford to quit, you can't afford to continue to stay. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you have a job and you can't afford to quit, that means you also can't afford to stay. If you're in a situation where the cost, I'll see where I'm going. I'm not even gonna go into that no more because I'm like literally having a moment with this, like as I'm saying it, like seriously, like I'm like going through it right now in my mental faculties are burning right now, thinking about all the changes that I need to make. So I make sure that things are not the same. Be very careful of routine. Let me leave this and drive this point home. Be very careful with routine. Be very careful with comfort. Be very careful with getting used to something. Be very careful with getting used to somebody. Be very careful with getting used to some place. Be very careful with getting used to things. Most people are so used to Instagram and Facebook working, they have nothing else to depend on when it's no longer there. That's why you cannot get used to the same thing. You can't get used to the same person. You must change. You may be used to the same doctor. I'm used to the same. You know, it's funny. I'll give you a story, something interesting. I go get my oil change at the same place every single time. I mean, for years I've been doing this, right? But I didn't have the time to drive to, like almost Torrance they give me a good price, right? So anyways, I went around the corner from my house. Similar price. Went and got my oil change. And I said, you know what? It's going to be different. I know it's going to be different. Let me tell you, I changed for the first time. It was much faster. And they told me, they said, whoever was doing your oil change wasn't doing this correctly. I don't know why they wasn't, but they wasn't putting your thing back on all the way. And I said, wow, I was so used to going there that I didn't even realize that there was other things that were out there. There were things that are better than what I was currently used to. See, there's something better that There's something better out there than you're used to right now. The challenge is letting comfort go and being uncomfortable until you're comfortable again. It's like resetting. No one wants to restart. You know, I got a good friend of mine, Dr. Carol Brown. I know him as CJ, but he's got like a new gig, and he was like, man, it's crazy. I got to start off at the bottom again. He was like, but I'm actually happy because I have to grow. I have to like grow again. I have to climb back up that ladder. It's changed. I'm not comfortable anymore. I have something I have to strive for now. So put yourself in a position where you must change before change puts you in a position where you must do it anyways. And now it's not on your circumstances. You should change while you have the power. Change while you have control. Change while you still have all the cards in your hands. Change on your terms. Change on your conditions. You know, my cousin, is pretty much vegan for the most part. Not all the way, but you know, he doesn't eat most meat products. You know, he doesn't eat meat for sure. But you know, it's the idea of he decided to do that because he wanted to change before the problem existed, and he was forced to. You know, like most people don't start eating healthy until they become unhealthy. Y'all ever realize that? I'm gonna say it again. Most people don't start eating healthy until they become unhealthy. Now imagine if they would have made that change on their terms and they decided to do that before they were forced to. It's a different situation when you control every aspect of your life. It's a different situation where you can turn, you know, it gets lost in conversation. The idea, hear what I'm saying? I really want to emphasize this. It gets lost, the idea that you yourself, hear what I'm saying? You actually control, hear what I'm saying? The outcome of your life. I mean, what a crazy concept. Isn't that just crazy? That you can control the outcome of your life. You can control the outcome of your day. You actually can't control the next 6 months of your life. But most people are afraid to be in control of themselves. Most people, hear what I'm saying? Most people are afraid to be in control of themselves. It's scary. Most people would rather put the responsibility on someone else so that way if things go wrong, it's not your fault. If it goes wrong, it's my boss's fault. If it goes wrong, it's my mother's fault. If it goes wrong, it's such and such fault. No one wants to bear the responsibility of control because when you control it, you have to be responsible for all the things that go well and then also be responsible for the things that don't go well. And us being afraid of things not going well so much, we're so afraid for things to go awry. What if things don't go as planned? What if things don't go correctly? What if it doesn't go how I think? And I've said this before on the show. Here is a news flash for you. It's not going to go how you think it's going to go. Accept that and still go anyways. Things are not going to happen how you expect to happen, but you have to take control. I'm going to jump in the chat because I got people in here. So I got to say top of the morning to Lanice, Momo 800, my brother Troy, Deja Bowens all the way from the ATL tapping in, and my brother Uno. He says a lot of people are scared of letting what's familiar go in order to perpetuate their way up. Deja says, through my experience, I've learned not to be content, to stay in touch with myself in reality. The reality versus idea. In order to make our idea the reality, we have to do the work, which gets back to your point. Don't get used to anything. Keep working, keep growing. You'll be amazed at who you are. She says, when you reach new heights that you didn't know existed, and that's what happened. You end up reaching heights that you didn't know existed. You end up falling into places that you didn't know that was there. You end up becoming something that you didn't know you could become. What would happen? Let me ask you a question. What would happen if you spent all of your time developing yourself? What would happen if you spent all of your time making yourself better? How much time a day do you spend making yourself better? Interesting. How much time do you spend a day making yourself better? If you work out every day, okay, you spend that time. That's making yourself physically better. If you read every day, okay, you're making yourself better. But how much time do we spend? Think about it. Do you spend all day making yourself better? No. I promise you, you have more screen time on Instagram than you do at the gym. I promise you, you have more screen time on Instagram than you do reading. I promise you. I'm not even going to argue with you because I already know the answer. I bet you spend more time, screen time. I bet you have way more screen time than you do read time. Way more screen time than you do working out. Way more screen time than you do feeding your mind. I guarantee you. I've heard some people tell me, my feed is all motivated. No, it's not. Your feed is not all motivational. What I'm saying is being aware of the control that you have over the outcome. Most of us want an outcome. Most of us want to hit the lotto without buying a ticket. Let me just say that. I can kind of leave it. I can kind of rest my case there. People want to hit the lotto without buying a ticket. What are we talking about? You know that you control if you hit the lotto or not, right? Now, most people might say, I don't control if I hit the lotto. It's all luck. Well, you control if you buy a ticket or not. I think I said it a few shows ago. You got to put yourself in position to even be lucky. That's control. I think I was saying on Nicolette's show yesterday, I count a lot of what's been happening here. A huge part of that is luck. But luck is not just something you sit and wait for. Luck is something you prepare for. Luck is something you prepare for. I gotta say it again, ladies and gentlemen. Being lucky is a huge part of success. But you have to prepare to be lucky. You gotta be ready to be lucky. You gotta say, man, today is a good day to be lucky. I'm counting on luck today. I don't know about y'all, but I am. I count on luck every day. Hope I get lucky. I metaphorically buy my lotto ticket every day. Do you metaphorically buy your lotto ticket for your life every day? Do you sign up to win every day? Or you say, no, today's not a good day to win. This time I'm not gonna buy a ticket. You're not prepared to be lucky. My brother Uno is in the chat. He says a lot of people are okay with routine things in their life. Yet in order to go higher, elevate yourself in life, you're going to have to go through transformational endeavors. A lot of people can't handle the gravity of their own judgment. And that's huge right there. He said many are afraid to bet on themselves. You said something right there. Uno, you said people can't handle the gravity of their own judgment. One of the scariest things for anybody to do is judge themselves. I truly believe that. I believe so. One of the scariest things people can do is judge yourself. Be 100% with you. And that's why I always talk about, using my show as therapy for me to talk to myself about what I need to do, what I should be doing, how I should be thinking. Can you handle the weight of losing Can you handle, like, let me ask you a question. Are you willing to risk everything you have to get everything you want? Simple question. I don't care what you have. Are you willing to risk, and are you willing to lose everything you have to get everything you want? And here's the answer for you. Most people are not willing to risk what they have, right? I don't want to risk my home. I don't want to risk my job. I don't want to risk my kids' life. I don't want to risk not having food on my table. I don't want to risk what I have. Okay. Well, there you go. There's your life. The devil has control over you, according to the book of Outwitting the Devil. Here's the thing. This is the most interesting concept. You're going to lose everything you have anyways. You know how? Because you're going to die. And guess what? All of it stays here. So you're going to lose everything you got one way or another. So why not use it as leverage while you still can? Why not use it as leverage while you still have an opportunity in this life and this experience? Why not risk it all anyways? Because you got to give it back when you leave. I love using this reference of walking into a casino and them giving you chips and saying, hey, here's your chips. But on your way out, you got to leave these chips here. Most people, you can go in the casino and conserve all your chips you want. I don't want to lose all my chips. Fearing loss is a different energy than preparing to win. You can't do both at the same time. You can't be preparing to lose. You can't look left and right at the same time. You can't look back and forward at the same time. Fear of loss is prevention of progress. I'm telling you. When you fear loss, you're in maintenance mode. You want to maintain. When you're in a situation where all that matters is progress, nothing you have now matters. Especially when you have the idea in your mind that things are going to get better. Especially if you have the idea in your mind that what I have now is not what I'm going to have in the future. So why wouldn't I risk it? Hear what I'm saying? If you say what you have now is not what you're going to have in the future, then why are you afraid to risk it anyways? You can have a job somewhere and say, well, it's not the job I'm going to have in the future. So why are you afraid to risk it now? Why are you afraid to step out on faith now then? If you already can see your future and this is not in it. Understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I love people who are doing what they love to do. I really do. Have you ever had a doctor who loved being a doctor and then had a doctor who didn't like being a doctor? See, the person who didn't like being a doctor don't see themselves as a doctor in the future. They just doing this because, once again, this is where they are. Person who loves being a doctor has a different approach to the way that they treat their patients. And they see themselves being that in the future. I challenge you to do this, ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here today. Start doing today what you see yourself doing in the future. Start living now how you see yourself living in the future. If you see yourself as being a wealthy person, well, start putting yourself in wealthy. Start acting as if, what would you do if you were wealthy? Maybe it'd be nothing different. I don't know. Maybe you will go to different restaurants. Maybe you will hang. Maybe you'll go to a different gym. It's funny. I was talking about, like, man, I might get me a gym membership at Equinox. Where I was like, man, I want to be around that type of environment. I want to pull up to the gym, and I don't know if y'all go to the gym, but a lot of times you meet you build some of the best relationships inside of the gym. I know we've all can attest to that. But it's about who's in the gym. You go to Equinoxes, Rolls Royce, it's all that. It's also $315 a month. Unlike LA Fitness is $35 or $24 is $60 a month. So, it's the environment. It's a difference, major difference. And it may not be that for you, but whatever it is, it was a wise woman. I saw an interview one time, and they asked the lady. They said, "Hey, if you lost all your money today, what would you do?" She said, it'd be simple. She was like, if I went broke today, or if I lost everything I had, I know exactly how I would get it all back. And then she said, how? She said, I will find one of the most expensive restaurants in town, go sit at the bar and order a water and listen to people's conversations. And from time to time, I will, if it's in proximity, I may meet somebody. Do you hear? I don't think y'all really get it, man. Y'all, maybe it's going over your head, man. I don't know. Like, do y'all realize the gravity of what I'm saying? She said she would go to the most expensive restaurant, sit at the bar and order a water, not a water. She will order a water and sit there and listen to people's conversation. All she's simply doing is putting herself in the environment that she wants to be in the future. And the future is the present. So I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I spend a lot of time trying to put myself inside the environment. I mean, it's very important. It's very important that you understand that you control everything. You control the environment you put yourself in. You control that. You control the outcome of the day. You control that. You control how much money you make. We're just not used to it because growing up, somebody always told you what you was and wasn't supposed to do. Somebody always told you what the idea of success was. First, you had your parents, you had your school teachers. You graduate from school, you get a job, now you got your managers and your bosses and your directors. And everybody's telling you what to do. Everybody's telling you what success is. Everybody's telling you how much you can make. It's interesting because I heard this concept before and it changed things for me. And I'm going to end with this. He said, I forgot who, maybe it was Jim Rohn. I think it was Jim Rohn. He was saying most people are driving a car that they don't want to drive, doing what they don't want to do, eating what they don't want to eat, living how they don't want to live, working where they don't want to work. It's a whole bunch of doing what they don't want to do. A whole lot of that. How many of those things can you knock off of that list? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you working where you want to work? Are you living where you want to live? Are you driving what you want to drive? That's all controlled by you and your decisions starting today. My brother Uno says in the chat, he says, the true story, or he said that's true story. Many want, I can't even see it. Oh, many want lavish without even putting one foot in front of the other. Just start. Yeah, most people want to start at the finish line, my man. You know it. Most people want to start at the finish line. That don't even sound right? You can't start at the finish line. Moni said something last night, which I never thought about. She said, man, Keith, you've been doing this since 2015. But the good news, since 2016, she was like, have you been, she asked Kurt, she's like, have you been building anything since 2016? Have you been building something literally since 2016? So I said to say that this is a culmination of 5-6 years for what is being produced now from what's being built. So I know somebody can meet me today and say, hey, great. It looks great. Not realizing, and a lot of people want to start right here. Yo, this is 5-6 years, son. 5-6 years. And I'm still running the race. I'm still trying to get to the finish line. Got to put in that work, ladies and gentlemen. It starts today. I will see y'all Monday. Make sure y'all tune in today. Today is Wednesday. We don't have no shows on Wednesday nights here at the Good News. No, I'm sorry, we do, just not on the talk side, but on TGN Latinx, y'all know it's Wednesday. Sexual Frequency tonight with God His Love Day. Make sure y'all tap in. It's gonna be a good one. Also, we have Sports Talk with Mark and DP on TGN Sports. Make sure y'all tap in. We just opened up our new office, our new headquarters office, which we're also building our brand new sports studio. So I'm very excited about that. We got a lot coming, man, and y'all be on the lookout for that next station. It's coming. We already got the plots and plans and the blueprint for our next station that we will be opening early next year. So be on the lookout for that, because we're not playing and we're not taking our time no more. We're doing this as fast as we can. ASAP. I know what it is. Till Monday, y'all. See y'all then.